Help support our coverage through Amazon Prime. Get free music with Prime Music, TV, movies, and documentaries with Prime Video, and free games with Prime Gaming. For this and a whole lot more, go to PLUGHITZlive.com/prime. Well, our next guest is here. Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Absolutely. Go
Thank
ahead
you
and
so much
introduce
for
yourself
having
for
us.
me.
Yeah, hi, I'm Vedika Jha, representing Case Western University and the founder of something called ProMytheUs, which is a talent discovery software tool.
Okay. What kind of talent discovery are we doing here?
Yeah, so really the idea for us came from talent scouting that exists in sports in America. So
Okay.
if you've ever seen Moneyball, you know what I'm talking about. They go out looking for young talents in baseball or basketball. And both my co-founder and I were math majors, just about to graduate, kind of wondering what we're going to do with our lives, as most students do. And one of the things we were thinking about was, hey, why does nobody come looking for math talent? Just like they do for sports. So it started off as a platform for discovering math talent, but currently we have 27 different categories of talents that we can discover and then score.
Wow. Okay. So who is your target demographic with this? Is this intended for me as a business owner to be able to go out and find specific types of talent? Is this more like a middleware? Where does this fit into the process?
Yeah, good question. So we target 7 to 22-year-olds because same kind of concepts,
Sure.
finding talent early, because it's much harder to sort of tell somebody when they're older that you need to change your path, or they have dependents or kids or whatever, and it's much harder. But we have actually had parents of kids that we work with tell us, hey, can we try it? So that is our secondary market, and we hope to bring it to companies as well. We actually had our first paying customer was a company that wanted to sort of they were working with a bunch of different schools, and wanted to see how many of those teachers had teaching talent. So that was kind of a cool way to integrate with a company. But my primary focus is to work with 7 to 22-year-old kids so that we can find them early on and then help nurture that talent.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. And so if let's work from the student side.
Sure.
What does the interaction look like there?
Yeah, so basically you go on our website, and so far I've been doing onboarding sessions, so I'm physically present there, or I used to be before COVID.
Sure.
And there's essentially 3 parts to ProMytheUs. So the first part is the Find My Talent tool, which is a 3 to 8 minute assessment, which helps you actually identify your talent if you don't know. And surprisingly, there's a lot of students that don't know. And there isn't any talent-based software tool where they can go and find out. So you have a lot of personality-based tools like the Myers-Briggs test, if you've ever heard of that, or 16 personalities or StrengthsFinder, but you don't really have something that can identify your core talent, something that you're naturally good at. So they go through the Find My Talent tool, find out their talent, and then they can go and register that talent. And they can register any of the 27 categories. So if they don't really think the one that we found is correct, they can go ahead and register something else. But so far we've had a 95% success rate. So 95% of people who find out the talent, they actually go ahead and register that same category as well. And then in the registration process, basically you walk through a series of tabs. And if you've used the internet before, which is most of the kids in this country, it takes you about 15 to 20 minutes. And the series of tabs basically ask you questions about your own self. So it's not really a test. It's more just you're answering questions about yourself. So kids have a lot of fun with it because, it's not like an aptitude test where they're kind of looking at your geospatial, whatever recognition or mathematical ability. It's really just simple questions. And then there's a section for testimonials. So your friends can, do like a video or talk about your talent, and you can sort of upload that, or your teachers or parents can talk about it. And then there's also an evidence section where you can kind of upload something to showcase your talent.
Okay. And then, so now from the other side, if I
Yeah.
am looking for somebody with a particular talent,
Hmm.
for example, I was working on a project a while back where I needed a very math heavy person.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I have a good friend who has a PhD in mathematics and education. So luckily we had a path to find somebody. But if I
Right.
didn't know her,
Hmm. Exactly.
I'd have been lost. So how does this work for the talent seeker? Somebody's looking for
Correct.
somebody with that
Right.
talent.
We kind of want to be a one-stop stop for talent. So, find the talents, but also, like you said, have a database for people to find those talented individuals. So the way our website is built is, there's 4 different logins. So you have, a login for the individual student, or you have login for the educational institution. So if schools are going through it, but you also have logins for companies, and then also headhunters or recruiters who want to access that talent database.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would, using this example from a past project, I'd be able to go on there and say, I'm looking for somebody with, a strong mathematics background, and maybe because this was a very strange project, perhaps somebody with a geospatial background as well, because this was a mapping project.
Got it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And if we had that, but we're still growing, and
Still early. Yeah. Yeah.
correct.
My use case was very bizarre, and I understand that.
Yeah, my goal really is to be able to map cities, so you can tell how many certain talents you have. Look, how many mathematicians in Ohio, how many entrepreneurs in Ohio, how many accountants. So that's kind of the vision, or I guess dream.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah. So how far into this are you? I know that you're part of the Case Western contingency? No.
Yeah. Yeah, you
team.
can say that. Yes.
I know they always bring a lot of interesting people to CES and a lot of interesting projects, which is the reason why we gave a blanket invitation to all of you.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
we always know that it's interesting projects that come out of that. So how far are you into that?
So, like I said, I didn't really even talk about the third part of Prometheus. So we're 2/3 done. So you can find your talent on the platform, and then you can also go register, and then basically you get like this talent report that includes 2 different scores, which we built the mathematical algorithm for. So that's kind of our secret sauce. And then it also gives you some recommendations. But the next part, or the last part of Prometheus that we're still working on, is called the talent lifecycle plan. And that, just like for people in sports, will give you some sort of a future projection. So like, okay, I found my talent, I've scored it, I have some guidelines, but now here's an in-depth kind of milestone to milestone sort of projection of like, how can I make progress on this talent, right? So, for example, like, hey, maybe you need to get connected to a certain coach, or you need a mentor, or you need certain times to practice this, or you need financial help, or whatever it is. Those things will be included in the talent lifecycle plan. So that's something that we're working on right now.
Okay. And so with that, how long has this project been going?
3.5 years now.
Okay.
So I started when I was a junior in undergrad, and now I'm about to graduate from a master's program. So.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. This has been my life for a while.
I was saying, an interesting change in life in that time, going from undergrad to a graduate program.
Yes, for sure. But it's been awesome, and we've seen some really cool cases of, we actually had our first success story because of the nature of the platform. It's the success metric is a long-term thing, right? Because you find people early on, and then sometimes that's a hard sell. But we just had our first full success story where somebody actually changed career paths, went to a different continent, and then gave us credit for being able to find her teaching talent, and now she feels a lot more fulfilled in her position. And that's kind of what we want to do for everybody, right? Because fulfillment is low right now. When we did our market research, we were told 8 in 10 people don't like what they do, which as mathematicians, that was 80% is a large number, right? It's very disappointing.
Wow.
And so we realized that, okay, it's not just math kids feeling like no one goes looking for math talent. It's just overall, nobody goes looking for any kind of talent except for maybe sports or entertainment, right? So that's the problem that we've thought we wanted to solve. So that's what we're doing.
Gotcha. Well, if people want to find out more about this and contact you to participate in the onboarding process, how can they do that?
You can go to prometheus.net, which is PROMYTHEUS.net, and then you can schedule a demo. But I was also hearing a few other podcasts and people prefer calling, so you can also call 312-989-4089 if you want to get in touch with us.
Fantastic. Well, I really do appreciate you coming on and talking today. This is a really cool service that, like you said, is definitely needed.
Thank you. I really appreciate being here.
Absolutely. And have a good rest of CES.
Yes, you too, please.
I hope you enjoyed that interview, and if you did, make sure you check out some of the more than 100 interviews we conducted during the virtual CES 2021 coverage. And of course, subscribe here on YouTube, hit the notification bell to learn when we post new content and when we go live.